The commitment needs to be a commitment to grow the economy, and the budget will balance itself.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I've been sick for a while. Yeah, the last two videos were they were scheduled, so luckily I managed to get those in. So today's radio reaction comes from a slightly different radio next to my bed. Yeah, we all the family came down with a norovirus that hit everyone. So daughter-in-law and son came back from Phoenix after seeing grandfather and brought it over by accident, obviously. And yeah, we all got affected. My wife was particularly bad. I don't think I was definitely not as bad as her. I only had the symptoms for about 6 to 8 hours. But it's taken 2 days for me to get to the point where I can drive and now go to the store. Anyway, while I was laid on my bed listening to my radio, the inflation rate came down substantially, below 2%. Like, wow, that's amazing. Well done, Liberals. Or is it? Let's have a closer listen to what an expert says about this and whether or not it backs up what we've all been saying on this channel is that, yeah, Canada is in trouble, big trouble.
Is this something that we can view as actually a negative story as opposed to positive?
Yeah, I mean, the concern about really low inflation is that folks start delaying purchases. So they say, oh, you know, prices are falling on food, on this TV, on this car and whatnot. I'm not going to buy this thing now that I want to buy. I'm going to wait till the prices go down a bit more and buy it later. And that's actually become a drag on economic growth. Folks say, oh, it's great, prices are falling. Well, it is until people start not buying things. Then you're potentially a serious problem. The other point that's worth making is that often we see negative inflation when other things are going very badly. So in the middle of the pandemic, we had negative inflation, but that wasn't because negative inflation was a good thing. It's because we were in very bad economic circumstances. And so when you start seeing quite low inflation like this, it is generally, you know, it starts to become concerning. If people start to put off purchases, it might be indicative of, you know, a problem in terms of economic growth. And so, you know, the headline figure is 1.6%, but, you know, you pull shelter out of that, which is rent and mortgage interest costs, basically. You know, the general inflation rate then is down to 0.4%. So we're closing in on zero. I mean, folks do want to see prices fall, but you get a bit concerned when they start to turn negative broadly.
What the next question was asked is, did the Bank of Canada overreact when they put the interest rates up at such a high percent so quickly, which obviously hit so many families who just recently bought houses at maybe the highest price for housing, and their payments just went through the roof?
Yeah, I mean, this is the issue, is did they, you know, was interest rates actually what was driving this decrease? Was a big increase in interest rates actually even necessary, you know, because it had a big impact on driving up housing costs in particular. And those high housing costs are actually certainly one of the things Canadians are very concerned about, whether you got a mortgage or whether you're renting. Both of those have just skyrocketed. And then, you know, so that becomes the question, is did they stay too high for too long? It takes a while to unwind these positions, right? Folks are locking in their mortgages for 3 years at these higher rates. You know, maybe they did 3 years to 5 years. But it takes a while to reduce the rate until you get the impact on potentially on economic growth. And in particular, I mean, interest rates have a big impact on new home construction, whether that's sort of condo apartment buildings or whether it's sort of houses. We've seen a big drop in those constructions as a result of high interest rates. And so even if you were to draw them down right now or in the next decision next week, you're still going to have an impact on the housing market for some time.
Even though inflation has dropped substantially, prices in the stores are still a crazy high price. You know, buying ham or cheese or something in the grocery store now, even for me, it's a luxury. I can't just go buying blocks of cheese and the $14 ham that Sobeys selling. I have to go to the cheap part of the cooler and buy the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, so grocery, similar to last month, up 2.5% or so. So that's certainly higher than the general rate at 1.6. Not a big change there. What is interesting is, well, grocery stores or food from stores is continuing to go up, certainly at a more, you know, a more normal rate, you know, a little over 2%. we actually are absolutely seeing categories where we're seeing deflation, which is to say negative prices. Prices are falling year over year. And this is true. These are smaller categories, but we're certainly seeing it a whole variety of them. It's happening in furniture and appliances, it's happening in clothing, happening in footwear, it's happening in food, fuel, and electricity for household use. These aren't as big, but some of the categories, the drops are reasonably large, particularly in clothing and footwear, and they seem to be accelerating. And so, the big drivers have been grocery store food, gasoline prices, and housing prices over the last, several years. And we're seeing gas prices come down, year over year, although that can be a lot more volatile, certainly.
Yeah, but those things he's talking about at the end there, washing machines, electrical goods, TVs, all stuff like that, it's not a necessity. It's not something that people need to buy to live. You could probably hold out for your new TV for a couple more years. So the prices on them are coming down to tempt people to buy them. But food, people need food every single day, except for if you're sick. You don't need food at all. Anyway, so take what the mainstream media is saying about this drop in inflation with a pinch of salt, because it's a sign of something that isn't working right in Canada. It's a sign of monetary policy in Canada not sorting itself out, like Trudeau said years and years ago. Anyway, well, I've still got my voice. Till next time, guys.